glasses. My glasses.
It's my son finally telling me he got my message. I have to talk to you after about the,
If you need it for anything, for your doggies or anybody.
do you understand this thing about the SPCA?
Yeah, but Jim and Crit could probably speak on it. I think it's just to get him into the sewer district, right, Jim? To officially adopt him?
Sorry,
BCA to officially adopt him
Yeah,
into the
it's-
sewer district?
yeah.
So they could be like a paid user?
we have to okay it in the sewer
Yeah.
commission,
Us first, and then the sewer commission will do it tomorrow?
hopefully.
Yeah, so it'll go here first, and then the sewer commission tomorrow?
So what's our responsibility in that, you know?
Because they fall into town, I guess, I'd imagine, yeah. I think she's having trouble with the unit back there again.
They did well with, I was at the planning board meeting, so they, oh, because you're trying to get it on Facebook too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. When you just use YouTube, it's no
It was
problem.
never a problem, though, it was need to work, okay.
Our connection sometimes here, though, is not, it's
Yeah.
hard, it's not consistent, it seems.
It's a signal, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but you would think with the Wi-Fi, it should be okay, no?
I don't know.
The camera?
So not on YouTube either? Nothing?
It's on back there, Wendell, the camera? Everything's,
This is not gonna be good.
isn't that
Yeah.
par for the course?
I don't know.
It's crazy.
Excuse me.
You're blinking from here, I can see the number up there.
What if we just do YouTube
I don't
and
know
see
if
if that works?
I don't know if it matters with the camera, though. Any luck, Wendell? You can hear it?
Must be something wrong with the internet, because I tried to turn the lights on outside on my phone, and it
Yeah.
says town hall's offline.
Can you reset something, Wendell, to see if the internet is working now?
Yeah, mine says I'm on. Weird. Not calling.
Yeah, they're saying it's on, so.
What? Mine says on Wi-Fi. Is everybody else on the Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I'm on the Wi-Fi.
Mine just popped up, no internet connection.
No connection? All right, we'll just keep trying, Steph, we'll see what we can do. It's recording audio, though? Audio but not video?
That's what it's saying on my end.
Okay. Yeah, it says offline for some reason. Okay. We'll do our best to get that on. Thank you, everyone, for being here Wednesday, October 8th, for our 6 o'clock town board meeting. Clerk, could you please read the roll call?
Councilman Migan,
Here?
Councilwoman Snow,
Here.
Councilwoman Pitt,
Here.
Councilman McCarthy, Supervisor Schmidt.
Here, please stand and follow us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Wendell, thanks for looking into that. Before we get into the meeting, please remember that there is the rules for public comment on the first page of your agenda. They're here for every month's meeting, and we do like to keep things respectful and not personally directed at anyone on this board or any employees as well. So if anyone was to do that, we are going to move towards a recess. So please read through these rules on the first page of the agenda, and we'll try and follow along. Next item will be acknowledgement of minutes for the town board. I'll make a motion for September 3rd. Could I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? Councilman Migan?
Aye.
Councilwoman Snow?
Aye.
Councilman McCarthy?
Aye.
Councilman Pitt?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt? Aye. I'll make a motion for September 10th meeting. Could I have a second?
Second?
Any discussion? Councilman Migan?
Aye.
Councilwoman Snow?
Aye.
Councilman McCarthy?
Aye.
Councilwoman Pitt?
Here.
Supervisor Schmidt, aye. Okay, next item will be the 2026 tentative budget presentation by Christine Mitchell, our bookkeeper and budget officer. Christine, thanks for being here and working on this. I know this is everyone's favorite topic, to go over numbers.
Good evening. There seem to be a lot of new faces, so I'm just going to go over where we're at and how the procedure generally works.
Fantastic.
The budget is called the tentative budget when it's the town supervisor's budget until it's submitted to the town clerk September 30th. So there were a lot of meetings with department heads. I'm the budget officer for the town, appointed by the town supervisor. So as a result of all those meetings and sitting down with the supervisor, we prepared the tentative budget, submitted it to the town clerk by September 30th. At that point, it becomes the town board's budget. This is the annual budget summary. So basically, I'll go over what is in that fairly large packet. I understand there's something going on with the visual. Nobody has to worry about that because everything goes on the town website. So this budget summary will be on the town website along with the tentative budget. After this, the town board will make changes if they feel necessary to do so, and then it becomes the preliminary budget. There'll be a public hearing on the preliminary budget November 5th. That's when people normally have a chance to speak about the budget. Of course, anybody can speak tonight, but this gives everybody plenty of time to review the budget in its entirety. You can always reach out to me. I always say, it's cmitchell@pauling.org or net these days, I'm not sure. So you can reach out to me and, I'm happy to answer any questions about the budget, if you want to know something prior to any of these meetings. So we'll have the public hearing on the 5th, and currently you're scheduled to vote on the budget on November 12th. The budget does have to be adopted by the town board before November 20th. So with that overview, I'll go into summarizing what we currently have as the tentative budget. For anybody who just wants the quick information and what are my taxes going to be, the estimated tax increase for this year, if you live in the village, is 2.99% or $6.08 a thousand. And if you live outside the village, it's 1.1%, or $9.09 a thousand. So what does that mean? How do I calculate my tax rate? You get an assessment. So if you take the assessment, to make it easy, let's say your assessment is $300,000. You drop the last 3 zeros, you get 300. You multiply it times that rate per thousand. So if you live in the village, it would be 300 times 6.08. So your town tax would be $18.24. If you live outside the village, it's 300 times 9.09. Your town tax would be $27.27. What am I getting for my money? That's obviously that's one of the questions everybody wants to know. We have a lot of continued services and added services, excellent park and recreation programs. We have a contracted ambulance service. We have a transfer station. We have a golf course, paving, road plowing and maintenance. The building department is staffed in-house versus subcontracting. We also have, there's still $35,000 in the budget for a town planner. And we are, we've agreed to take on the Dutchess County roads again for next year. So that is part of this budget. Personnel, what is that costing us? The increase for most of your personnel, employees and elected officials, is 3%. What are the benefit increases? The retirement system contribution is going to be about $382,000 next year. Your tier rates have gone up over 8% from this year to next year. Health insurance. This is a tough one because our rates don't come out till November, and it's usually after the budget's already been finalized. So it's my best guesstimate. When you look at the history from when I started here in 2020 to date, rates have fluctuated anywhere from 3% to 49%. So I estimated 10% for this year. Your total estimated costs for your health insurance are going to be $1.1 million annually across all funds. That's net of your employee contribution. This is still your major budget challenge that the town faces going forward. 2025, you're looking to be, just under $1 million across all funds. Equipment and capital. What are we going to spend on upkeep and for next year? In the general fund, we have allocated just over $77,000. New air conditioning at Lathrop, the conference rooms. $8,000 for kitchen upgrades at the Holmes Whaley Lake Civic Center, and another $6,000 to paint the exterior at the Holmes Whaley Lake Civic Center. We have just under $6,000 for central data processing. What that means basically is new computers and upgrades. We have $20,000 in there to continue the traffic sign speed limit project. We have $14,500 to continue with garage doors at the highway department. $1,400 for a water heater at the Lions building. Pool carts at the golf course, another $1,280, and $10,000 to buy another container for the transfer station. That is actually paid out of capital from revenues of the transfer station itself. In the highway department, we're currently budgeting over $643,000 for paving. That can go up or down depending upon how the snow season is. We were very fortunate this last season. We did well, so we ended up adding some more money to that. I would hope we could do that every year. Out of that amount, we receive about $270,000 in CHIPS revenue to offset the expenditure. Use of fund balance. Fund balance is a fancy way of saying savings. This is our savings for all of our funds. So what are we going to use next year versus what we adopted the year before? You can see, tentatively for the A fund, we're down almost $70,000 in what we want to spend because we really want to hold on to as much fund balance as possible for your rainy days. A little bit more in the B fund, a little bit less in the highway fund, and your water district and your Whaley Lake Dam district are going to remain the same. How much will we have left at the end of next year? This is based on if we use our entire appropriation for next year, you'd have about 1.1 million in the A fund, about 44,000 in DA, 690,000 in B, and 1.1 million in DB, which is highway. 40K in your water district and about 82 in the Whaley Lake Dam district. This is something that I monitor on a regular basis because I want to see that you're healthy not only this year but the next 5 years. Tax levy, people talk about the tax levy limit, and they say, oh, 2%. It's not 2%. There's a calculation that it goes into it, and I've sent that out to everybody. But basically the levy limit for this year is 4.8 million and change across all the funds in the special district, and we're currently under the limit, just shy of $14,000. Revenue highlights in the budget. Golf revenue is estimated about $340,000 for next year. The golf course continues to do very well revenue-wise. Fines and forfeited bail, $80,000. Park and Rec, your summer camp, $215,000. Park and Rec charges, that's everything that's not in a separate line. That's $50,000. Refuse and garbage charges, that's your transfer station revenue, about $275. Mortgage tax, $250. Mortgage tax collections actually are doing better this year. We're up about $62,000 over, comparable through August of last year. Expenditures. We have $32,000 in there for an auditor. We did have an audit, New York State audit, at the end of 2020. Ambulance, you've got $583,000 and change in there. There was a new contract in 2022. You should be aware of this because your contract expires at the end of next year, and there's a chance you could have a significant increase. Debt across all funds. Your total town debt at the end of this year will be a little over $6.3 million. And I have a list here of every fund and what we bonded and how long it's bonded for. I don't need to go through the list with every item, but it's there for everyone if you want to see, how we use the debt. And debt is a tool. You use debt, just like you use all the other financial tools that you have. Special districts. We'll talk about that for a second. The Whaley Lake Dam District. Next year, the rate's going to be 2.92.3 versus 302.17, so it's going to be a 3% decrease. Water District number 2, the rate for next year is going to be 490, the same as last year, so there's no significant increase in Water District number 2. So that's the summary, and I sent everybody the detail of the wages. So just let me know if you have any questions.
So I have a question for the board.
Go ahead, Councilman Migan.
Does anybody know if we have an opportunity to renegotiate with the ambulance now, if it's beneficial?
We've reached out to them. We are going to sit with them next week. It was the first opening they had available to try and get down, to get with them this year and try and get a extension done before it runs to the end. Christine, on the total, how much was the debt for Whaley Lake Dam, that dam project?
The current balance
balance?
Yeah.
Right now, it's 1.964 million.
Okay.
That's a 1.45% bond. We did excellent on that bond.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Christine, thank you for your presentation. I appreciate it.
Any questions right now from the board? Obviously, you all can email her as well and go see her and go over things, and as always, there's changes.
I did have one or two.
Go ahead.
Christine, I had just, well, now, actually, it's one question for Christine. I might not have heard it, but with the tax levy, did we have a number that you gave us? What the tax levy usually,
It's gonna be, that's on the first page. 6.8 per thousand if you live in the village,
right?
and 9.09 per thousand if you live outside the village.
Right. I guess normally there's a number, you know, it's like 1 point something.
If you look in the budget, the total amount, yes. If you look on the budget that's in front of you there.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, thank you, I just didn't know if I missed it. Okay,
So, it differs depending on which fund you're looking at.
Okay,
if
so
you
a
wanna
village,
look at A fund, I'm sorry, let me come up.
so Christina, a village house would see a $35 increase, and a townhouse would see a $19 increase, is that what I'm reading here?
Yes.
Gotcha. Right here.
right,
So that would be
okay.
based on a $400,000 home, right? And so a $400,000 home in the village would see a $35 increase, and a $400,000 home in the town would see a $19 increase.
Okay. All right. Okay, that was my only question that I just had now, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Christine.
Thanks.
All right, any other questions for Christine at this time?
I just,
I'm gonna take a look at it and compile.
Yeah, and set up a meeting with her, go in and, try and get in there to see her, obviously. It's easier when she has her computer in front of her to run through numbers with you. So go ahead.
and I just wondered, where we're at with possibly, again, this is stuff to consider. I don't know what we, really can and can't do. Murrow Park. So years ago, we got the grant for the roof there,
Yeah.
100, right, and we got that. But the inside of the building itself needs some love, quite frankly.
That's for sure.
So I don't know if there's, obviously, it's probably a lot to do certain things. I think the last time, and I don't know, Wendell, if you know, one of the bathrooms wasn't working, maybe it is now. Is that still the case, that the
The urinals cannot work,
Okay,
yeah.
but they have the bathrooms. Just as far as for the board thinking too, can we look at the building at one point for maybe some projects we can start to do there? Because, again, we did get that grant for the roof.
For the roof, and we did
So
the
it's-
windows.
And again, I think with the community garden there, people are there a little bit more, so it was just a question. I don't know if it can, what the board thinks, but I thought I'd bring it up now since we're gonna be looking at the budget. And then,
There was always Wendell, there was an agreement in place, wasn't it, that the town was gonna maintain the exterior of the building?
Yeah, the envelope of the building,
And then the Lions Club was gonna maintain the interior of the building. That agreement's still in place, or it's always been in place? So we'd have to sit with them, because obviously I don't think they.
do we have
they
that
don't
agreement
fundraise.
somewhere
Yeah,
that we can look at?
Sure, and it's an old one, but I don't think they're fundraising.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been sent to us.
I'll find it and send it to you, Colleen.
I don't think they fundraise and raise money the way they used to. The Lions used to be, a very busy
Yeah,
organization.
I just wondered, really wondered about that. And then I just have had people talking about the dog park. If there's anything, again, as we're looking at budget, that can be done there to make some improvements. So I said
Sure.
I'd pass it to the board.
Sure, and this is the time of year to talk about it, for
Yes,
sure. See
exactly.
what we can work in there.
So that was it for right now, thank you.
Councilman McCarthy, anything?
No, not this time.
Councilwoman Pitt?
Yeah, I just have one thing while I'm just thinking about it and looking at the budget. I know we had brought up, I mean, this is something that I could speak with Kathy offline, but any movement on a Laserfish quote, Kathy, or thoughts about us?
Yeah, I've been working on that since May.
Yeah, thoughts about us going?
It's not complete yet, but I do have a couple of pieces. They're
How's it-
big ones.
How's it looking?
It's looking expensive.
Substantial, right? When do you think we'll have a finalized number for that?
Probably in a couple of weeks.
Is that something that we're gonna be able to phase out, do you believe, starting in 2026? Or,
What do you mean phase out?
well, as far as being able to project ahead with the monies that are gonna be needed to budget for it?
Yeah, it
if
could
the
be
board
phased.
decides.
Mhm.
That was it, thank you.
And
For
the-
now.
The only other thing we're still working on too is, and we're gonna try and get this wrapped up in the next week or two, is the union contract as well. So that is gonna be reflective in this budget. Every 4 years, that contract comes up
Oh, so
for,
it wasn't completed yet?
it's not completed yet.
Oh,
There has been several meetings and, back and forth, like every contract negotiation, obviously, but Bobby and the Teamsters have been great to work with, and they do a fantastic job, obviously. And again, this year, they're taking over the county roads for us again, which I know is a better service for this community than when they were done by the county, because they didn't respond as quickly as we did to these roads. So we're gonna try and get together next week, and hopefully before the meeting to even have some real progress. And I'll get the board updated on that when we have that meeting.
Okay, great.
Who actually does that? Do you guys sit in with,
So I do it with them.
and what, our lawyer, or?
I
how
do it,
does that-
so I've been sitting right now with the representatives from the Teamsters,
Okay,
and Bobby obviously comes along with that as well. And then when we get to the final stages, we'll have our attorneys involved. And the Teamsters have their own attorney there as well. All right, next item on the agenda will be privilege of the floor with respect to agenda items only. Anyone with a comment with a resolution here on the agenda tonight? They're not all going to be passed tonight. This is a workshop meeting. We will pass a couple, and then the rest will be back on for next week. But please state your name, address for the record. Try and keep your comments around 3 minutes if you could. And again, please make sure you try your best to adhere to the rules for public comments for the meeting and for everybody here. Okay. I'll move along to resolutions. I believe the water district has to be passed tonight, correct, Kathy?
Yes, correct.
Resolution 127, billing for polling water district number 2. I'll make a motion for 127. Could I have a second, please?
Second?
Any discussion from the board? Councilman Migan?
aye.
Councilwoman Snow?
Aye.
Councilman McCarthy?
Aye.
Councilwoman Pitt?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt? Aye. 127 passes. When the 128 needs to go as well, right? Facility use request? Okay.
That was on Saturday.
Okay, oh, that's right. Thank you for being here. We see members of the Poland Community Foundation here as well. Facilities use request, Resolution 128. I'll make a motion for that. Could I have a second?
Second,
Any discussion? Councilman Migan?
aye.
Councilwoman Snow?
Aye.
Councilman McCarthy?
Aye.
Councilwoman Pitt?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt, aye. 128 passes. 129 will be back on for next week, establishing 2026 rates for the transfer station. 130, approving the temporary hire of a part-time contractor. Does this need to be done tonight, Wendell? Yes. It does? And this is the email you sent out to the whole board, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Resolution 130, approving the temporary hire of a part-time contractor. I will make a motion for Resolution 130. Could I have a second?
Second?
Any discussion from the board? Councilman Migan?
Aye.
Councilwoman Snow?
Aye.
Councilman McCarthy?
Aye.
Councilwoman Pitt?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt, aye. 130 passes. Resolution 131, approving the addition of Michael Main to the Comprehensive Plan Committee. We did speak at the last meeting about adding two more people to this committee. And Michael reached out to us. He's a member of our school board. So since we were trying to get representation from all the boards within the town as well as residents, it seems like a really good fit. We do have town board members, planning, zoning, comprehensive plan, the CAB, and now we'll have a member of the school board as well. So we have a lot of people covered from different parts of the community on this. And we are looking for one more person, and we did reach out to a lot of folks trying to drum up some interest. So if anyone has another recommendation or someone you think may be interested, please get that to us or reach out to them.
Can I just say something? Mark Chipkin sent us all an email on somebody that he recommended, and Mark's actually here.
Yeah.
That I think we should consider.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that'll be on, if we can get that confirmed, we'll have it on for next week as well.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion for 131. Could I have a second?
Second?
Any more discussion? Councilman Migan?
Nay.
Councilwoman Snow?
Aye.
Councilman McCarthy?
Aye.
Councilwoman Pitt?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt, aye. 131 passes. 132, ASPCA option to purchase agreement for sewer. So this is the ASPCA project that has just been recently completed. And Councilman McCarthy and Councilwoman Pitt, this is to, I know you'll be voting on this tomorrow night with the Joint Sewer Commission.
Well, we'll pass it on to them that we approved it.
And then
we
tomorrow
can
we'll vote at the
decide.
commission as well?
I'm not sure yet on that.
Okay.
but
And this is just so that
This is something we
they'll,
had to do first, so,
and then they'll be paying for usage into the sewer district, correct?
once they go online, yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And this was looked over, Nancy, I believe, forwarded it to Michael Ligori. Michael Ligori looked it over, they have checked all the boxes, so everything is done as per Michael Ligori.
Excellent. And then, okay, so it'll be, then at the sewer commission level, it'll be approved by their attorneys and a resolution there as well. Right, that'll be standard procedure, Nancy?
I think so, yes.
Excellent. All right, I'll make a motion for Resolution 132. Could I have a second?
Second.
Any more discussion? Councilman Migan?
Aye.
Councilwoman Snow?
Aye.
Councilman McCarthy? Councilwoman Pitt?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt, aye. 132 passes. That'll be all for resolutions this evening. Then we will open up to town board items for special consideration and new business, and I will start with Councilman Migan.
I don't have too much tonight. I'll just pass, so yield my time.
We'll give you extra next week. Councilwoman Snow.
Yes, thanks. I did just want to publicly thank County Executive Sue Serino. She had awarded $100,000 to 4 local nonprofits that help people who are experiencing homelessness or facing food insecurity, and our Polling Resource Center was one of the recipients, and they received $10,000. So I know they're very appreciative, and just wanted to publicly say thank you to Sue Serino. And then the other thing that I have is, since we've now started with offering exit interviews, I did reach out to 2 former employees that would like an exit interview. So it's in our handbook, that we offer them. I know we've offered it before to an employee who didn't feel a need to do an exit interview. And I just want to be clear, because I'm just going to read. In the handbook, it says that basically the exit interview provides an opportunity to discuss a number of items, including employee benefits, COBRA eligibility, changing of computer passwords, return of town property. During the exit interview, employees are encouraged to give suggestions, concerns, and constructive recommendations. Is that the board's understand? That's what happened with the exit interview?
Well, they're being handled by the HR people.
Right.
So, yeah, so we didn't, I didn't sit in on the exit
Okay,
interviews.
okay.
I'm not 100% sure what questions they ask or don't ask in that.
Okay, all right.
So is that something we're gonna put back in our handbook?
I would think if.
It's in the
It's in the
handbook.
It's in
handbook
the handbook, so
now.
I'm reading from the handbook.
I believe Ian's going to be sending us some updates
Okay.
pertaining to all of these issues.
Okay.
The exit interviews,
Right.
the other procedures of how things are gonna be.
Okay.
I know he's working on that. I think he sent us an email just the other day that he was following up.
Did those folks reach out, the former employees reach out to Ian?
I did
schedule?
not give a number because I needed to just bring it up to the board.
Yeah,
So
have them
they
reach
would-
out.
They would call him directly?
they would speak
I
with him
didn't-
and-
I didn't know the process.
And
Okay.
schedule it. They could probably work through Stephanie in some capacity as well, but it'd probably be easiest to send them directly to Ian, Steph? Yeah.
I'm sorry. Councilwoman Pitt, I know you're asking Nancy something, but could we
Yeah, my
get the
que-
question, please?
Yeah, my question is that correspondence with the other 2 employees, shouldn't that have been shared with the full board as well?
Well,
All of us CC'd on it, so we could see the questions that were asked to them.
they didn't
and
ask
their
any
res-
questions.
The
They,
questions that you asked to them. and
I
their
asked if they would be
responses back.
interested in an exit interview, as we had a community member ask at a public meeting about a former employee having an exit interview. So I just asked them, and they both said they would like one.
Okay, just for the future, if it's something that we're talking about consistently on the dais regarding our employees, past or present, I think it would be a courtesy to include the full board on any correspondence regarding HR matters that we are clearly consistently discussing here. So that's all I
Most HR matters should be just redirected directly to Ian anyway.
Right, and I
in
just
that
wanted
form,
to know the
yeah.
process. I didn't
Yeah.
know if I can just give them
Yeah,
his number. So
sure, yeah, I would just give
that's why I'm bringing it up at the dais.
Yeah, I would give them Ian's contact, and that's his job duties to handle that. This way, it's
Okay,
clean,
that's fine.
and then he'll
I just wanted
he'll
to know
give
the
his
process.
findings to the board after it's completed.
Okay, great, so I'll do that, thank you.
Anything else, Councilmember Snow?
No, that's it for tonight, thanks.
Councilman McCarthy?
I just want to follow up with the board that you all did receive the email I sent pertaining to the potential pavilion at Lakeside. I didn't receive any comments back from anybody. I did give you two options. One was just a regular timber roof line, and the other one was a timber framing, which is more fancy, different price quotes. So I don't know, did you all have time to look at it, or did you have any comments or any questions?
I looked at it, Councilman McCarthy, I just didn't know from the time you brought it up at the dais if we felt we could spend any of the grant money. It didn't seem like we had made that decision, so I'm sorry, I
that's-
was confused.
Correct, that was the whole purpose of sending you the two
Yeah.
options of what we would like to see and how fancy we want it, and the prices were in there.
So I said no to even getting this additional grant. So I think.
This is the grant that we already received, the $1.2
Right.
million grant.
The one that, and we voted on that, and when we voted to pursue it.
No, we haven't, that's the problem, we haven't done anything with it.
Has LaBerge gotten the grant?
Yes,
That's
the
what-
grant
that-
was awarded to us.
That's what we
but
voted
we
on.
haven't done anything with it.
Right. We voted to have LaBerge go for the grant, and I voted no.
Right, but I'm saying, so we have this grant that was awarded to us.
Yes.
And if we don't do something soon with it, we will lose it.
You know what the
I
timeline is?
I wasn't
right now?
for it to begin with, so.
Okay, so
I-
you're not, that's fine.
I'm not, because I think we spent over, $1 million almost of taxpayer money on that building.
Okay, so you're not in favor, I understand, that's fine. That's probably why you
What's
didn't
the
reply.
timeline on that grant, Jim?
Basically, as soon as possible, I guess. You know,
Let's
it's
get
something that
these.
we have not acknowledged it, we have not done anything with it, and that's why they're asking us, do we plan on doing anything?
Right.
We are all well aware that we are not gonna spend $650,000, we don't have that in the budget.
Right.
But it is a 50/50 grant, and it would be a shame to lose 50% of the cost of that pavilion.
Pavilion up there, sure.
And the understanding, just so I'm clear, is that if we did wait, we couldn't apply for another grant to.
It would count
to
against
do
you.
that.
If you're awarded a grant and then you don't utilize it, it is a factor against you when you go for another grant. Because they say, hey, we went through the process, we vetted you, we approved you for funding, and then you didn't utilize it. So it does work against you. We can get the exact expiration date for everybody on that as well.
I think the key thing is we just need to decide and vote on it if we want to move forward with it and what type of a budget we want to use.
Sure, certainly.
So,
And Councilman Migan, moving forward too, you know, I agree with you. I know that there were some overages on that project, but you know, a major overage was the amount of asbestos inside that condemned building, and then we had to treat everything inside the building as asbestos. You know, that was something out of our hands and the grant's hands and everybody there. You know, usually, an asbestos abatement is done. That's all removed from a building. It's carted away separately. Then the building is demolished and separated. Because that building was condemned because it hadn't been used in probably 15 plus years, and it was collapsing in locations. The asbestos number became very, very high, which is out of our control. And then, of course, you hit those few years where just inflation was high and the project was already ongoing. You know, unfortunately for us,
No, I get it.
it's just the timeline, and then, you know, you're held to these timelines by the state no matter what. So even though costs are rising, you know, due to nothing out of our control, there wasn't any major changes by the town or the engineers or the architects, but when construction costs spiked, you still have to complete your project in the timeline that they gave you in that grant, like we're talking about now. So moving forward, if we were to come up with a pavilion that we can all agree on, you wouldn't expect these kind of changes because, you know, the building is there now, and this is just something that'll be constructed right on top of it.
Well, I'll think about that. I'm a fiscal conservative, so I tend to,
Listen, that's okay.
yeah.
Councilman McCarthy, anything else?
no, that's all.
Councilwoman Pitt?
Just one thing on what Councilman McCarthy was just speaking about, if I missed it. What's the deadline for us to make a decision?
I'm gonna have to get that tomorrow.
There
for you.
really is, there's not a deadline. The longer that we go, the more it, you know, there will be some point that they will come to us. But we haven't really even started it to acknowledge that we received it, because in order to do that, we have to have an idea what we want to do.
Okay, so.
And we have to have a dollar amount, what we want to spend.
All right, so maybe we as a board then need to make a goal with ourselves instead of just, you know, sometimes how things work out, next thing we know, it'll be 3 years down the line and, a decision or a vision still hasn't been implemented, so. Well, I mean, what's feasible for us as a board to come up with what we want to do based on the specs that you emailed us?
The reply I received from Aaron, who was the head of Parks and Rec, said the sooner the better.
Okay, so what does that mean to this board?
What's feasible is gonna be what Christine tells us at her office. We can go with her, we can pick any design we want, but at the end of the day, Christine's office has to run the numbers and tell us what can be done and what can't be done.
Okay, that being said, though, we still need to pick a design, so can this board, do we think that we can pick a design that we feel is best for that location by next month?
I
Get
think so,
January 1st?
but I think to help pick a design, wouldn't it be easier to meet with Christine and say, hey, what kind of budget can we have? Right, we know we have a 50-50 grant.
Right.
So I think the most productive thing would probably be to speak with Christine, have her speak with our grant people and say, I'm comfortable with us spending X amount of dollars, knowing that we're getting 50% back, and then we could take that budget back and design a pavilion to that number, right? Would that be easy enough to do, Christine?
Well, Councilman McCarthy and I have had this conversation a few times now, and my response has been, tell me what you want to do and what it's going to cost. Don't
Right.
ask me to give you a number. Tell me
Okay.
what it's going to cost.
Not even like a window, like we can work within of numbers? Okay.
We have to have the vision that we want, and then Christine should work with that.
I just would hate to come up with a vision and find out we can't afford it.
But then, you know what, at least we're coming up with a vision in a timely manner, and if we find out we can't afford it, we move on to the next one.
I am also a fiscal conservative, so good, reasonable, inexpensive is my go-to.
Okay. All right, so let's get talking on this tomorrow then, all right? And we'll try and kick some ideas around again. Everyone, if they could reply to that email that Jim has sent out already.
Was they understood with the email, the quotes, the 2 price points and the sizes and things of that?
Understood,
Okay.
understood. I'm agreeing with James that I think that if we pick something, I just need to know then what's the total amount we're spending. I know we don't have to spend the whole 600,000, but I'm still, because we're still working on the budget. I guess for me, this is very different. In years past, when we're at the end of the year, we don't usually add things at this time of year. So I just need to know, do we have the money? And I hear what Christine's saying. She needs to know kind of what we're looking for and then see if it.
You're gonna bond this.
Right.
So you're gonna go into bands, you're gonna do it sometime next year. You're not gonna do it this year because you're gonna have a debt payment due next year.
Okay.
So by the time you plan it, and, and you're gonna have to finance it, because it sounds like it's gonna be significant. I have not seen a plan yet.
All right, let's get these plans
See
to
a
Christine.
plan.
And then everyone else, just try and respond back to, Jim
Yeah,
McCarthy's
if you have any
email,
questions,
please.
just let me know. I mean,
All right.
and then you can see the flyers, you can see the different options and different types and all that stuff, so,
Thanks, Councilman McCarthy.
thanks.
Councilwoman Pitt?
Just as far as, nothing really new, but just thanks to Christine and everybody down in the bookkeeping office for putting our budget together. Just take time to absorb this. And then just real quick, back to what was mentioned earlier regarding exit interviews and our new HR firm. I mean, maybe the proper thing to do, instead of just reaching out to two employees, I'm not quite sure which ones those were, or we decide, like, is it proper to decide to go a certain 3 years back or 4 years back and offer, everybody an exit interview? Maybe that's just a question for Ian.
Yeah, it's probably an HR question. Depending how far back you're going, if I would think, that's obviously that's Ian's decision, but,
And there's
I would
different-
imagine if you go back to whatever employer you're going back to, then you should offer it to anyone who left in that same timeline, right?
Yes.
Right, and I don't know if there are a difference between part-time employees or full-time employee status when it comes to exit interviews, so I guess we can reach out to Ian tomorrow with that. Would you like me to send an email about that to Ian?
Yeah, this is his cup of tea, right? That's what they do for a living, so. I would just imagine that anyone that's offered to would probably be offered to anyone within that window. I don't know, it's 3 years, I don't know how far you go back on these things.
Yeah, and again, this was heard, publicly at our meeting about an exit interview, so
Are
They
these exit
inquired.
interviews gonna be made public?
I have no idea. I don't know if
I
they
guess they would
should.
go into someone's personnel file, right? Nancy? Right, an exit interview would be done and then put in a personnel file?
Yes,
Is that the normal practice?
that's the normal procedure.
That's what they would go through.
I don't have anything additional right now, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Privilege of the floor with respect to agenda and non-agenda items. Anyone with a comment, please keep your comments around 3 minutes. State your name and address for the record, and come on up.
Good evening, everyone.
Honorable Judge Wansley.
I am going to continue with the HR theme because this seems to be the flavor of at least a month of a week
The mic, sorry, thank you.
here. And so.
Hey, Judge, just your address for the record, too?
I'm sorry, Sage Road.
Thank you.
So I want to send a special thanks for Councilwoman Pitt, who did a lot of research to identify a HR agency to help us out, as well as for the board in its entirety to adopt and help for us in spearheading this. It's the agency that we have. It must be two things. It must be truly independent, and it must be ethical at its core. Otherwise, we're just wasting resources and individuals' aspirations. So whatever conclusions they make must be based on verifiable facts. It must have an open and fair process. And this process will boost the morale of not only people here that work in the town, but also the faith that the people that you swore to serve will have in the town. One of the things that we have to determine, because when we hired this company, it's like going to a restaurant and say, give me food. You know, most of us don't do that. You pick what you want. And the same thing with this investigative body. We have to kind of shape what we want from them, meaning that some definitions have to be established. What is a legitimate complaint? Is a interaction between two employees a complaint worthy? Is it worthy to go in someone's personnel file? These baseline things have to be established. Conversely, what is not, and it has to be communicated well. Once the established process is communicated unambiguously, all stakeholders should be aware of it, meaning not only the board members, we talk about communication, but the public should know what goes into a complaint, what is a legitimate complaint. Otherwise, we have a retainer for these people, and you're talking about budget, we would have a budget of $8 million just for HR issues if we don't set parameters that everybody agrees upon. What is an unwarranted complaint? And every complaint needs to be addressed in some way, because it adversely affects both the person that makes the complaint, but also the person who receives the complaint, sometimes not to their knowledge. I mean, that's not fair. So some first steps, I would say, is establish what would trigger an investigation. Establish standards. Like I said, every distasteful interaction may not be worthy of a complaint. Importantly is, what is the standard of proof for a complaint? There's several standards of proof in the criminal and civil statutes. Certainly this is not criminal, so like in law and order, beyond a reasonable doubt wouldn't apply to us. But certainly there are two that are used regularly for this. The first one is preponderance of the credible evidence. Preponderance of the credible evidence is probably it happened. That's really what it means, 51%. It's a very, very low standard. The next one that is not criminal is clear and convincing evidence. Certainly that is more, it even sounds better, clear and convincing evidence. That's more solid, but well below reasonable, beyond a reasonable doubt. As a board, you have to tell that restaurateur or that HR person what standard we should be operating as a town. The preponderance of the credible evidence, interestingly, is pretty popular, but it leads people to get false determinations of inappropriate behavior. It's popular in big municipalities because where I came from, our trial room, administrative hearings and trials was preponderance of the credible evidence. So it kept 38,000 cops in line, because if you went to the trial room, chances are you get bushwhacked. But this is a much smaller venue. So you want to establish what investigative tools are they looking for. Dispositions. There's several common dispositions. Once a investigation takes place, there's several common dispositions. I just want to go through them quickly. I hope my 3 minutes don't expire, but I think we should know what they are and what to expect from them. The first one is substantiated or founded, and it's semantics depending on which agency uses it. The allegation was proven to the threshold of the aforementioned standard, whichever standard that you tasked them to agree with. The second one is unsubstantiated or unfounded. You're unable to prove that the allegation took place based on that threshold. The third one is exonerated, meaning that you proved it did not happen, that it is not, that the investigation proved and it totally cleared the person. And the fourth one is pretty rare, but it does happen. It's called exceptional clearance. And exceptional clearance is when perhaps the employee that made the allegations no longer with the agency, they refuse to cooperate further, transferred, or the entire investigation moves on to a different level, meaning that you could be having an investigation about discourtesy and you would uncover a criminal component to it. And therefore, no longer our HR person would be handling this, so you would get an exceptional clearance for that. But these things are very important because it should be standardized. And then...
Judge, are you almost at the end?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
What happens after a complaint is substantiated? Where do we go from here? Where do we go for elected people, or where do we go for appointed or salaried employees? And as always, I extend my help to the board as individual or as a collective to work through this. This is what I did for many years. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? All right, seeing none, I'll make a motion to adjourn. Could I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Amended.
Oh, fantastic. Good. I thought it would have been a lot easier to fill people in on all these things, but I guess not.
Thanks.